Hey folks, welcome to another edition of PlayBranson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. My name's Chris Meyer. I'm going to be your host for the show today, and on today's show, we have the world-famous illusionist Rick Thomas with the Mansion of Dreams. So we're excited to have him back on the show. It's been over a year since he's been on, and so we want to welcome him back to the show. Guess what? We have now started Ozark Mountain Christmas here in Branson, Missouri, and it's one of the most special times of year in Branson. The town just transforms itself into what I would call a magical Christmas land. And there are so many unique things that happen here in November and December that really don't happen anywhere else in the country, and it has really helped it become one of the top Christmas time vacation destinations. So we start in November 1st. We go all the way through the end of, well, now they're saying January 7th in Ozark Mountain Christmas. And so maybe you're sitting at home and you're like, I've never been to Branson at Christmas time. And let me tell you, there are tons of great Christmas shows here. We have Christmas light drive-thrus. Silver Dollar City has over 6.5 million lights, and there's plenty of shopping as well. So it's a great time to come here to Branson. I do want to give a shout out to a couple guys. I was in a theater a while back, and this guy comes up to me from New Mexico, and he comes to Branson like 2 weeks a year, and he like watches the show all the time. And so I tell you what, it makes me happy when I hear people watch the show, that we're not just doing this for no reason, and that it helps you determine maybe what shows you're going to go to or learn more about our Branson entertainers. Now, I had another guy, I was in this restroom at a restaurant, and this guy, like, when we're washing our hands, he starts looking at me kind of strange, but then he's like, oh, you're that host on PlayBranson. And so once again told me how much he enjoyed the show. So if you happen to see me out there in public and you watch, let us know how we're doing. We would appreciate that. And guys, thanks for your positive comments and feedback. It meant a lot to me. So folks, we will be back in just a minute with more PlayBranson.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need ibranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at ibranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. ibranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show, and today on PlayBranson we have the one and only Rick Thomas. Welcome back to the show, friend.
And as I understand it, it's been a year since I sat in this chair.
A long time.
Blows my mind.
Now, we had your wife on here a couple of months ago.
And I understand she did great. She stole the show.
She did awesome.
Stunning.
She did awesome. So, always what we do on the first segment of this show is we talk about history. And you have a great history as a performer, entertainer. And so maybe somebody's out there watching for the first time that they've never seen you. They don't know who you are. And so let's give them a little bit of a background about your career.
Wow. In probably just one paragraph, I started when I was 7 years old. I went semi-pro at 13. I went professional at 17 and became the youngest solo artist for Disney. And I performed at the Disneyland Hotel for 2 years.
As an illusionist.
As an illusionist.
Illusionist, okay.
3 shows a night, 5 nights a week, right across from the Dancing Waters. And then from there, I went to perform on cruise ships and theaters across the country and around the world. And then I ended up in Las Vegas, and my first showroom was the Tropicana in Las Vegas, and I performed my show in Vegas for 20 straight years.
That's a long time.
Andy Williams passed on, and I was asked to come out to the Andy Williams Theater here in Branson, and now I've been here 8 years.
In Branson.
Yes. First, we thought we were going to be here for a season or so, and my wife Tara actually fell in love with it. Now, she being here before, you already know she's from Zimbabwe. For those of you who didn't get to see that episode, she flew to Las Vegas to try out for my show from Zimbabwe, and a couple years after trying out for my show, I married her. And so here imagine this, someone flies from Africa to Vegas to perform in Vegas, and now she lives in Branson.
Isn't that crazy?
I think it's, and you know what's amazing about it is we have been asked and offered to go back to Las Vegas, and Tara says no. So whatever my wife says, and another thing that here in Branson we know is that life goes super fast here because of the comforts that we enjoy. I loved being in Las Vegas. It was a big part of what I wanted to be in my life and what I pursued. But once I accomplished that and I finally got back out here to Branson and kind of chilled out, the life itself beyond the show is most important for me.
Yeah. So let's go way back, because you said you started performing at a young age, and what sparked that, or what happened in your life that kind of led you down this career path?
I had vivid dreams and imagination. There's a gentleman last night at my show who came up and said that he doesn't ever truly remember any of his dreams. And he said, once in a while I may remember one, and some people may have a recollection better than others, but I remember dreams vividly. And at one point when I was young, I truly believed I could float in the air. I had a hard time telling the difference between reality and fantasy. My dreams started to just kind of go right into my real life, and I thought I could float. I really believed I could fly, and I literally got up on my parents' roof and jumped off the roof because I thought I could fly.
Wow.
And the realization occurred when I hit the ground. That those were just dreams. But I wanted to, and my effort was to continue to try to fly, and now every night in my show,
you fly.
I fly.
Yes.
I fly. So I think that's great. And of course I lived in Long Beach, California. My grandmother took us not only just performing at Disneyland, but she'd take us to Disneyland when I was a very young child, even then. And I'd go to Disneyland even after my shows. I'd jump on the monorail and I'd go across into Disney and I'd just watch people. And Disney taught me the behind the scenes, what makes people's fantasy a reality, and how beautiful they make the world of fantasy, and how they want to make people's lives enjoyable. And I studied how Disney did things, and I watched how they designed their rides, and I was more interested in the behind the scenes and how it was done rather than the ride itself. And I think that's the same thing with magic. I was more interested in how it was done than being fooled. I did not like that. That was a very uncomfortable feeling for me, and for that reason I got involved with magic to first find out how it was done, and then once I did, I fell in love with the art. So
you have gotten a lot of big awards in the magic world. Can you highlight those? Oh.
I can start if I start from the top, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
I have been extremely privileged in my career. I have received Illusionist of the Year from the World Magic Awards, which is the highest award in all of magic. Of course, I grew up also in California, in Hollywood. We have the Magic Castle, and I received a Lifetime Magician of the Year award from the Magic Castle for what I've done for the magic arts. And then in Las Vegas, I became the most successful show for families in the history of Las Vegas, and I was given a key to the city.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's right.
Now, you've also been on a lot of these TV shows as well. And then did I read where you actually had your own special on ABC?
Yes, I did.
So
had my own special on ABC. That was an hour-long special. I was actually out in Guam, and what we had done was shot a lot of it on the island, and then I was doing World's Greatest Magic, and they brought me into Caesars in Las Vegas. At that time, we finished up the shots out there in Vegas. So that was some time ago, but ever since, I've had the privilege of performing on many television shows and stations. And I would tell you, more so than not, the live shows are much more entertaining to me.
Yes, absolutely.
I love live theater. I never want to stop performing for a live audience. It's kind of what drives me.
Now, I also read you've performed in 50 countries?
More.
More than that? That's still 50's a lot,
50
right?
sounds really solid.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You say 53. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. At least 50, right?
At least 50 countries.
Yeah, and so I read somewhere, I think, where you've done at least five
world tours.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what literally I have kind of stopped doing. You know how, I don't know, there gets to a point where, you know, in your younger years, you feel like you're invincible, you do crazy things, like whether it be jet skiing or jumping out of airplanes or bungee jumping or whatever you decide to do. Mm-hmm. And there's a time in your life where you've looked back on all that you've done. See, I had tigers in my show for 20 years, and I raised 15 tigers from birth. I had a beautiful habitat at my home in Las Vegas. I had worked with these animals a lifetime. But you look back on all these things that you've done, and one of those traveling the world is I take my entire show and I put my show in containers that go on these ships that then go across the sea to the other parts of the world, whether it's China, Russia, Korea, Japan, Italy, whatever it is, right? I've got to get my whole show across the world, and it's over and over and over and over again. And then you watch those film clips of these ships at sea and rough seas, and you see these containers falling off the boats and ships sinking. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, you know, I've been really lucky that in all of my travels, I've been okay.
Well,
but there comes a point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to take any more chances.
Well, and today's a different world in shipping. But this is a good place to stop, folks. We are going to be right back, and we're going to talk about 2 shows here in just a second that Rick's a part of. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back to the show on PlayBranson. Today we've got Rick Thomas. Rick, you've got 2 shows that you're in. You have your own show, The Mansion of Dreams, and then you're also doing at Christmas time this Moon River Theater Christmas show. So talk about both shows.
Well, my show, The Mansion of Dreams, I actually gave you a gift.
Let's hold this up. This is really a nice souvenir program. It is awesome. The best I've seen in a long time. So.
And it literally is my life's work. I have spent my life putting together Mansion of Dreams, and I wanted to create an atmosphere where I invite the public as invited guests into my mansion, and as a magician, walk the public through the Mansion of Dreams and experience different magic throughout the rooms of the mansion, and at the same time tell them how important it is to follow their dreams. So that's the Mansion of Dreams, and we're thrilled for its success, and it's beautiful. Costumes, most of the costumes actually were made in Germany. I've traveled this world, as we already know, and I've came across places that I think are the best at what they do. And some of the illusions I create and the costumes that are in the show, I really take from the best of the world and what it has to offer. And then Tara and I have been a part of the Andy Williams Christmas show for many years, since we've been here now 8 years. And we've enjoyed being part of the Christmas show. Well, this season, because of course Andy not being there and the transition of the whole theater just to the Moon River Theater, we've created a new show, and Tara and I were asked to choreograph and produce the new show. Now what I find fascinating, and of course I'm getting no sleep, it's exhausting, but we have in the show the Letterman, and we also have the Cowsills. Now I can tell you that, and you may say, who are the Cowsills? But I literally have been. The other night we were at a big event at our area where we live in our homes, and all the homeowners got together, and we all were sitting around, and like 4 or 5 of the women were sitting there, and they go, so who's going to be in the Christmas show this year? I said, the Cowsills. And they all, oh my goodness, we got to go. Wow. I'm like, you know the Cowsills? I mean, yes, they are from the 70s, but they are a family singing group that literally had hits, and they are coming to the Moon River Theater, and the Cowsills are a draw.
And that's the first time they've been there, right?
Yes, first time.
Yeah, the Lettermen have been there before.
If you go online and you look up the Cowsills, they just put out. I mean, again, I'm not one of my dancers. I asked him to act like Jerry Lewis in the show, and he said, "Who's Jerry Lewis?" So times change. But I when we brought the Cowsills in, I go, I don't know enough about him personally myself. So I went online. I started looking at literally who they are. And when you see the millions of people who've watched their videos, I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're. So I'm just telling everybody, and those of you who, when I said that, your ears perked up a little bit. I'd say that there were quite a few people. It just did.
Yeah, but you're in the show too, right?
Mm-hmm. So it'll be. I'm actually the master of ceremonies. I guide the people through the Christmas show. And then, of course, we have an amazing cast, dancers, the Moon River Band, Letterman and the Cowsills, and, of course, myself and Tara performing Grand Illusions in the show.
And is the show going to be, is it all Christmas or some Christmas, or how does that work?
There are two 15-minute segments where the Letterman and the Cowsills perform what they are best known for.
Some of their hits.
Some of their hits.
Yes.
And they get that opportunity to shine.
Okay.
And the rest of it, we attempt to try to get everybody to sing together in Christmas songs.
Okay. And so that show is going from now until December 9th, Monday through Saturday at 7:30. I was about to say 9:30. I was like, that's
7:30.
7:30. And then your show is Wednesday and Saturdays at 2 p.m.
Right.
During the Christmas season. Obviously, other times a year you're doing shows different other times, but just during this season they can catch your show twice.
Yeah, during the season we decided to, since we were a major portion of the Christmas show as well, and we still wanted to keep the Mansion of Dreams alive, we just moved that to 2 shows a week. So if you want to see the Mansion of Dreams in all of its glory, it's Wednesdays and Saturdays at 2, and then the Christmas show every night.
So, folks, I have to tell you, I went and saw the Mansion of Dreams in September, and Rick is a great, not only would I say illusionist or magician, but you're a great entertainer, and you get the crowd involved, you get people up on stage, but the sets are huge. He's got the big, the video screen behind you is humongous.
Huge.
The other thing that you have is you have some great dancers, not just your wife, but you have, I think, 6 other dancers as part of the show. And so I think sometimes people don't understand the scope is what I guess of a show, and it's not always just the trick, it's everything that goes around it.
I came up with a way of sharing the talent that's on the stage this year. And it just happened just a couple months ago, and I said something, and usually it's in the middle of a show, and then all of a sudden it sticks, and then it's in the show. And I introduced some of the cast, and I say, so you understand, Tara came from Zimbabwe to Las Vegas, and now she's here in Branson. So you understand the scope of the kind of production we bring to Branson. Mm-hmm. Tara's from Zimbabwe. Bianca, one of our other dancers, she is from London, England. Mm-hmm. David, another one of our dancers, he's from Paris, France. And then I look at the audience and I go, Maggie, Arkansas. And then it all ties all together and they all laugh, and I go, I just want to let you know that we are a well-rounded family on this stage. You have talent from all over this world, and it just happens to be in Branson.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting. It's this small little town in the Ozark Mountains where people can come get more family entertainment than I think anywhere else in the world. And so, Rick, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you making people smile. And folks, you got to go see the Mansion of Dreams. And this program is amazing. Get the program while you're there, too, because you're not going to find a nicer... I'm just telling you, I looked at this the other day, and I was like, this is the coolest program I've ever seen. And it is...
Well, I've been very privileged in my career. I also performed on Broadway, and I always wanted the show to make it look like a Broadway show. Yeah. And I put out a souvenir program, not just a playbill, but a program, the ones that you would buy on Broadway. And when we finished it, there are people on Broadway saying, "This is better than Broadway."
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. Now, they can go to your website, rickthomas.com, and they can learn more about you. You also do dates in other locations. And if somebody wants to bring you into their performing arts venue, They just need to contact you, and you'll
Yep.
set up a schedule with them. Because we do have, our Branson entertainers do go out on the road, and so Rick does do that on select dates.
I do. We close up usually Branson mid-December. Some shows go all the way till the new year. And then I tour. I get out on the road January, February, March, and then I'm back here for spring break. And then the games begin.
There we go.
In Branson.
There we go. Folks, we'll be back in just a minute to wrap the show up. Hang tight.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need ibranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at ibranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. ibranson.com.
Hey, we're wrapping the show up today. Just want to remind you guys that you can go see Rick Thomas in his Mansion of Dreams show Wednesdays and Saturdays at 2 p.m. And then you can catch the Moon River Theater Christmas show on Monday through Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. That's going through December 9th. You can catch the Letterman, the Cowsills, which new group in town. They haven't been here before. And then somebody else that's on the show we didn't mention earlier is also Nadia Cole, and she's one of the most amazing singers I've probably ever heard. She's been on the show years ago, but she's back for this limited run. She was part of AO, if you remember AO in town. They were on America's Got Talent, so she'll be part of the show as well. So go see them. Our guest next week, the one and only Len Knutson with the group Six. First time we've ever had him on the show. I'm so excited about that. We've got a lot of great upcoming special limited engagements still happening this year in Branson. We've got over at the Clay Cooper Theater, the Malprass Brothers are going to be there November 4th. And then we've got Matt Gum and company with a couple shows December 7th and December 19th. Got a bunch of folks still over at the Mansion Theater, still happening this month. The Oak Ridge Boys are there November 3rd, 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th. We've got the Gatlin Brothers on the 18th. The Bellany Brothers on the 19th, Gene Watson's on the 11th. We've got Disney Princess December 1st, Home Free, Family Christmas December 7th. And then over on at the old Welk Resort Theater right now, we have Daniel O'Donnell doing a limited engagement over there. So that's besides all our normal shows. These are some special events going on. So folks, here's the deal. If you need help planning your Branson Christmas vacation or your vacation for next year, you need to have the folks at ibranson.com help you. They can help plan your entire trip. You can go online and book it all. You can book your hotels, your shows, your attractions. They don't charge any of these costly service fees. They're not trying to get you to come in and pick up your tickets so that they can then divert your time to doing something you don't want to do. Or you can call them at 877-ENTERTAIN. You'll get a local person here in Branson, Missouri that will help you have the best vacation ever. So check out the folks at ibranson.com. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with Len Knutson.